Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we'll start this Bava daf Lamed Ches. We're going to start on the daf Lamed Zayin Medbeis by the Mishnah. It says the Masnisin. Shor shel Yisrael shenagach shor shel hektish. So if you have a regular Jewish person and his ox gores that of hektish, or for that matter, shel hektish shenagach shor shel hedjit, potter. Not everyone holds like this, but according to this reading of the Mishnah, if hektish is involved, if it's either the person who the ox was the one that did the goring, or it was gored, you're potter either way. The pasuk says it's only your friend's shor. Shor shel Yisrael shor shel kanaini potter. This is a pretty interesting line. We'll have to understand why. That if a yid's ox gored a kanaini's, you're potter. However, when it comes to a shor kanaini that gores a shor Yisrael, question 11, and this is again what we're talking about over here. And this is exactly the same question as TB 26. Im nogach shor shel akum or shel kanani was shor shel Yisrael. So in that case, you would have to pay nezik shalim even the very first time. That was TB 26. Okay, so that is the Mishnah, and we're gonna hopefully understand a little bit more of what this Mishnah means in the upcoming Gemara. Okay, so let's see the Gemara. So Masnisin look Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, because this we actually quoted before. Our Mishnah is not like Shimon ben Manasseh. It's saying shor shel hektish nagel shor shel hektish. The shor shel hektish nagel shor shel hektish. Potish never shor re'ehu v'lo shor shel hektish. That is the exact language of our Mishnah. However, Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, I mean no. Shor shel hektish nagel shor shel hektish. You're right, potter. I agree. If the shor belongs to hektish and it gores, then hektish is potter. But the shel hektish nagel shor shel hektish. According to him, you pay nezek shalom even the first time. So it's interesting. According to him, just like a kanaini or an akum's shor that gored even the first time is nezek shalom, so too if a Yisrael's ox gored even the first time, to hektish you would pay nezek shalom. So Amri, Micah said Reb Shimon, how does he understand the pasuk? Iri ehu davka. It's only your friends, so the feel shel hedjit shel hedjit lifter. Then the pasuk, should be excluding hektish, even when Yisrael's ox gores hektish. V'irei lav davka. If it doesn't mean anything, that's not a good diak. I feel the hektish nami ki nok the hedjit l'chayim. So if the shore of hektish gored, you should also be chayiv. So Mamarashach, I understand the shita. So it's davka. That's the reason why Yisrael, the hektish, shor shel hektish that gores. That's the reason why you're potter. Umihu dehedit ki nagach the hektish. Hainu tam nemchayiv. The reason why you be chayiv the other way around. Mishum dekam ma'isi lo mekavachaymer, because there's a kavachaymer dehedit. Ma hedjit shel hedjit. If a hedjit gored a hedjit's animal, so ki nagach the hektish or kol shekein the mechayim. You still should be chayiv. So maybe through a kavachaymer, that's the reason. This is how he understands it. Yeah, but then dialov and denilios kenadlin. Then you should only be able to learn up until what the kavachaymer is. In malaholan tam chatzi nezek kachanami chatzi nezek. So you should only have to pay for a tam half damages, not nezek shalim, if you learn out from a kavachaymer. So Elam Reish Lakish Hakol Hayu B'chlal Nezek Shalim. When it comes to the din by a muid, everything is in the category of nezek shalim, even hektish. You always pay nezek shalim, even hektish. Kishipar locha kasav re'ehu gabi tam re'ehu the tam mishom chatzin nezek l'chad the hektish ben tam ben muid mishom nezek shalim. But since the pasuk says re'ehu by tam, so it's telling you that no, only by re'ehu do you pay. Is there a chiluk between paying half and full? However, when it comes to you goring an animal of hektish, so in that case you would pay nezek shalom even the first time. Bein tam bein muad misham nezek shom. We continue to learn the chesed with Alf. De'im kain nichtav kra, if it was written re'ehu by tam, lahai re'ehu, so nichtav kra lahai re'ehu gami muad, then you should say it over there. Okay, so therefore again, this is how he understands it. Pashit is that it's because it's not alza kavalchaimer. It's because he understands that the pasuk is tafka by a tam, which we know is in between tam and muad, paying full or half damages. So that's where the diak is. That you only pay you pay nesek shalim when it comes to goring an animal. Shari ehu v'lo hektish. Only when it comes to shari ehu is there a din of chatzin nesek by tam. However, when it comes to shal hektish, you pay full damages. Shur shal yisosh shur shal kanaini potter. Samri mamadav shach. Again, how do you understand this? Iri ehu davka the kanani ki nagach yisrael nami liftar. So it should be when, if we're excluding a Kanani from this pasuk, then we should again say that the Kanani is pater if his ox scores a person Yisrael's. So then we're not going to learn it out. Then if Yisrael's ox gores a Kanani, you should be chayiv. So Amar Bava, the pasuk says Omad v'yemoided. So it says you stand and you engage in evaluating. Eretz ra v'yater goyim. So what do we see from this pasuk? Ra v'yater goyim. Ra sheva mitzvahs shekibul lehem b'nei noach. We see the 7 mitzvahs in which the b'nei noach were makabel. Kivan shalikimu, once they're not makabel these mitzvahs, amad v'hitir mimon Yisrael. So then all of a sudden we're mocked at their moments. Says Rashi, mashma davka be'inyan zeh shenagach shor sholhen shor shol oladi emer gezel kanani aser nicha oladi emer mutar kasha. So the truth is you can't steal from a Kanani. But the whole notion of Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach is we're teaching them that you have to follow certain laws. So if you don't follow the laws, like Kanani, this is not an Akum. This is referring to Kanani, who do not keep the mitzvos. They do not abide to the Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach. And therefore, because of that, not generally you can just steal from them, no. But when it comes to this din, this particular detail, we say that if your ox scores theirs, you'll be potter. Rabbi Yochanan Mahacha, Hafia mihar paran. The pasuk says Haifia, which Rashi says Gila mamoina v'hitiroi, that the money was revealed and it was mattered. Miparan Haifia mamoina v'Yisrael. Says Rashi, Kishesivev v'hichser hatayra al kol umos v'kiblua. The fact that Hashem wanted everyone to be makabel the Torah, they didn't makabel it, so therefore that's how they lose out in this as well. Tani mehachi, shor shel kanani, as we said, your potter. If a yid's ox gores a kanani, is your potter. However, shor shel kanani shel Yisrael bein talmidei muad misham nezek shalom, you always pay full damages. Why? Shenemar aman v'yemoided eretz ra v'yater goyim. So what does that mean? V'oimer, and furthermore we have the other pasuk hafiyim hiparan. So my view, I need 2 psukim teach us that Yisrael's shore that gores the shore of a Kanani or potter. Look at Ramasna. Maybe it's coming. You need the word eretz, like what Masa said. Look at Rav Yosef. Look at Rav Yosef, and to teach the din of Rav Yosef. So therefore, it's coming to tell you that no, Tashma Haviyami Harparan Miparan Hofia Mamali Yisrael. So maybe that's what we're come to learn. We're learning out the din of Rav Masna. We're learning out the din of Rav Yosef. And you're like, what? Where are these people? Don't worry, the Gemara's talking about now. So, Mad Rav Masna, some Rav Masna, Amad Miyamoided Eretz Rav Chulu, Mara, what did they see? Rosh Sheva Mitzvahs, Shinstavale Hen B'nai Noach, Vokimum, they were Mekam the Mitzvahs. Amad Vihigol Samiyal Ad Mosam, therefore they were removed from their lands. Umay Mashma Dahai V'yater Lishna Diagui, who's a lashon of exile. Ksiv Hacha V'yater Goyim, Ksiv Hasam, when Nater Behem Al Aretz, Umetargim Lekat Fatsa, that they were jumping behind Al Ara, they're jumping like grasshoppers. Okay. So, my Rav Yosef, the Rav Yosef, Eretz Rav Chulu, Mara, what did they see? Rosh Sheva Mitzvahs Shekibul Lehen B'nei Noach Kimum, they weren't Mekam the mitzvahs. Amid v'hitiru lehem, so they were matir their mammon. Isguri isker, imkein matzinu chaytin isker. So it's hard to understand. It sounds like the person who's sinning is going to get rewarded. So Amar Barid Rab, no, loy meshafil mekayimonoisen ein mekabel lehen sachar. That even if they are mekayim it, they're not going to get reward. How do we know that if he's learning Torah, he's like a kohen gadol, he does get sachar? Why does it say Adam? If you have a nachri who's learning Torah, he's on the same level as a kohen gadol. So Amri in mekabel lehen sachar k'mitzvah oisa. So ein mekabel lehen sachar k'mitzvah oisa. He doesn't get the reward like someone who's mitzvah oisa. El k'mish ein mitzvah oisa. Because the time Rabbi Yochanan go to mitzvah oisa, yes, maybe shein mitzvah oisa. We know that the Gemara Kedushin discusses this, but Maskana we end up saying better is someone, greater is someone who is mitzvah and does it than someone who's mitzvah not does it. Therefore, yeah, he will get sachar, but not on the same level. Question 12. Rabbi Yater Goyimar Ra. So he said they saw the Gimel, the Zayin mitzvahs. Mehem Gimel ha pirushim b'Gemar al v'yater. What are the three interpretations? V'yater means hitir mamoidim l'Yisrael. They're mater their money. Higu oisam yal and masam. They're exiled. Or hitir lehem Zayin hamitzvos. Shloi kabel lehem sachar k'mitzvah oisa. That they're not going to get the same reward as someone who's a mitzvah v'oisa. Okay. Which is mamish the same question as TA26. So let's just read what the question says. Alma v'yimda in eretz ra sheva mitzvah shesava v'lekimum be'el gimel devarim ne'alfinim apasik zeh shenenshu b'nei noyach al shul kimu sheva mitzvahs. So again, their monies were freed, which again maybe is this Taisus is only regarding this one particular situation. Could be that they're exiled, and alternatively that they're not going to be getting the sachar k'mitzvah v'oisa. Okay, weiter. Tan Rabbanan kavar shalcha malchus roimi. It was already sent by malchus roim shnei sardioitais, two officers. Eitzel chachmi Yisrael lamdu taraschem, to learn, to teach Torah to them. Kar v'shon v'shilish. They taught. They read it once, twice, and three times. V'shas b'tirasa. When these officers left, Amalehem, they said, Dikdaktaku b'chol taraschem. We were medayik in all the Torah. V'emesu. It's all true. Chutz medavar zeh shi'atim ayrim. There's one thing I don't like. Shor she'yisrael shenaga shor shel kanani potter. Shel kanani shenaga shor shel Yisrael bein tamid mud mishom nezek shalim. So they said, "B'madrashach, I don't understand. How could you possibly say this din?" And this is what we saw before. Then it should be the other way around too. If a Canaanite ox gores Yisrael's ox, should be potter. So if Yisrael's gores, he should be chayiv. So it doesn't make any sense. In this matter, we will not say over to the malchus. Says Rashi, chutz medavar zeh, the hemul giu lehem taimu shel davar. They didn't understand the reason shehi money shel Kanaani, that it was Kanaani's money. The cheskes hefker mipnei hasakana. So why didn't he tell him the truth? It's because it was a sakana for him to explain this din. Medavar zeh ein lanu moedim oisel malchus. Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda shchiva le barata. So Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda shchiva le barata. Daughter had lied down, died. Said, is there anyone going to go that's going to appease him for his loss? What is it for this consolement of this Babylonian? He's actually engaged in blasphemy. The Amri, my Efshalom Eved, ha Efshalom Eved Abdi. He says, what you're able to do, whatever you're able to do, you should do. So this is like a form of giduf, of blasphemy. Also, hu l'chudoi gabe. So he went to him. Amalei said, "V'yamar Hashem al Moshe Al Totzeres Moav, do not provoke Moav, Al Tisker Bom, don't antagonize them or don't fight them in Milchama. Mechima O Al Taito Shel Moshe Lasos Milchama Shel Bershus. What does that mean? Why would you need this pasuk? Why would you even think that Moshe is just going to starting a war without permission? El Nasa Moshe Kavakavi Ba'atzma. Omer, he said like this: Ma Midyanim Shloi Bo Ela Lazarus Moav. The Midyanim only came to help Moav. Amr Tarit Saras and Midyanim Hikisam Isam. It says that they should be smote. We should punish them for what they did. Vikisim Isam, as we continue on the Chesed Beis. Moavim Atzman, the Moavim themselves. So Kol Shekain, then maybe we think, says Rashi, she is Chil B'Kilkul the Socher as Bilam. Right? They paid money for Bilam to go and to curse the Jews. So Moab should certainly be held accountable. When a person goes, it should be based on my consent. I have these two goizolos, like these two birds, which are going to come from Moab. Rus haMoaviyav and Nama haMoavis. So the point is that even though maybe you would think Moab should be punished, but we don't see the whole picture, only Hashem does. And therefore, it's important, again, for us to understand that if we have any questions or doubts, it's based on our limited understanding. It's not Hashem's. So you can say, oh, Moab should certainly be punished. Yeah, but the truth is, Hashem doesn't want them punished because then it would interfere with Rus and Nama from being born. Even though maybe this nation deserved to be destroyed, but because Rus and Nami would come from them, Hashem spared them. So Bita Shel Rebbe, the daughter of Rebbe, Im Ksherahi, if Shitaka is kosher, Ru'uyahi Latzes Memena Davar Toiv, and even one good can come from her, Alachs Kamakama, then all the more so. Dehavi Chaya. Rabbi Chia Barabba, Rabbi Yochanan, Enekadosh Baruch Hu, Mikapeach Sachar Kol Biria. Hashem doesn't hold back the reward for any creature. Afil Sachar Sichana, even for nice speech. If you look over here, Rashi says, Bito Shel Rebbe Im Ru'uya, was there a kosher, Alachas Kama Bakama Shetichya. So so how do we see that Hashem rewards even good speech? Ilu Bechira the Ka'amra Moav. When it came to Moab, she said, and she was with her father Lot, and her name is Moav. She named her son Me'av from my father. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu Moshe, Al Totzeres Moav, don't instigate them. Al Tisker Bo Milchama, don't fight with them. Milchama Hu Doloi, just don't fight with them. Ha'anargia avilahu, avilahu. But to work with them, yeah, you could work them, right? You could have them do stuff, like have them provide food and water for you. But Seira, who was much more careful in the way she spoke to Ka'amr ben Ami, when you come close to the children of Amnon, Al Tetsureim, Al Tiskerbam, Klal. Don't cause any issues. The Afilu, Anargia Loy Tavid Bahu. Don't do anything. Don't even have them engage in any additional tasks. Okay. A person should always try to do a mitzvah first. The fact that the older sister was with Lot first, kedam to arbadaris Yisrael, so there was for Klal Yisrael 4 generations. Oived Yishav David Shloimei. Ve'ilu tzira advar chavam. Imo na'ama ha'amoinis. So we see that, again, if a person is proactive, they're going to be rewarded more. Tanrabanan. Shorish Yisrael Shenagel Shorshel Kusi Potter. So before we're talking about of a Kanani. What about a Kusi? So if a Yid's ox gored the shore of a Kusi, you're Potter. Mishal Kusi Shenagel Shorshel Yisrael Tam Mishal Chati Nezik. Umul Mishal Nezik Shalom. Interesting. So when it comes to a Kusi, the din is like a regular Yid. A Yid that gores another Yid's ox, you pay Chati Nezik. So too a Kusi, their ox that gores, you pay Chati Nezik. You're right. However, so according to this Shita, Rameir says no, it doesn't make any difference if it's Kanani or a Kusi, it's the same din. That if it gores, if a Kusi's ox gores, it pays Nezik Shalom immediately. So it's a machlokas when it comes to that, what the din is. Okay. So remember, are you trying to tell me this of Rameir Kusim Ger Rayasain? The reason why Rameir is so strict on them is because they're just like a Kanani, and therefore Ger Rayas, is that the reason? Or Minhi, I'll ask you a question. Now before we see Minhi, look at this Rashi. Kusi Potter. We're coming looking at time of the Kanasu. There's going to be a Kanas. Shekansu shul yitamu Yisrael b'meisehin v'dayan b'kanas zeh. So there was a Kanas over here. Of a kuli ha'ilu kansinan. We're not Kanas them so much. Hey mishalmin al hatam nezek sholim. Rameir choshev kusi kenachri. Rameir holds a kusi is like a nachri. Because the other sheet is no, we're not going to punish them that much, but it is a kanas. So it says like this: Ramini, kol hakasamim, all of the garments with stains of dam on them, haboyim mirekem tahirim. If they come from Rekem in their tar, says Rashi, Ir Sharuba Nachrim he. If the majority of the people in that city are Nachrim, the dam Nachri, as Rashi says, is tar midaraisa. Says Rashi, V'afagav the Rabbanan gazol him she kazavin. So midaraisa, their dam is considered tahar. Midarabanan, it's like a zav. Al kismehen, how when it comes to the stains, lo gazu. We're not geyser when it comes to a kesem of a kusi. Daha or of these people. Daha ksamim the Israel go fire with a run into. They would arise some dam has zayva b'vsara. When it comes to dam, it has to be mamish dam. A kesem, a stain in which if there's some type of garment with a stain on of dam, so that we say with the rabbanan, it's a din tuma. However, we're not going to say that's going to take place with the din of kusim, or again these people, which ear with the majority of nachrim. So even though it's true with the rabbanan, the dam is tameh, but the ksamim are not. So again, kol hakasamim boyim mirakim taharin. Yehuda matamim neishahin gerim v'toyim. Says actually the din is that it is tameh because they're gerim v'toyim. Okay. Says Rashi, they're converts. Reuben Gerin. So the reason why it's a problem is that actually it's a yid. They're converts. V'daman matama uki Yisraelheim. Their blood is just like that of a yid. El shehem to'in v'nohagin b'chukos hanachrim. The problem is that they act like nachrim. V'arahin ki Yisrael mummer. So they have the status of a Yisrael mummer. Okay. So mibein hanachrim. Let's say you find a kesem among nachrim. Taharim. There's no question it's tahar because again it's only din derabanan. We're not geyser on ksamim when it comes to nachri, whose dam derais is tahar. Bein Yisrael, bein kusim. Now it's interesting. It says kusim and it mentions kusim together. Rameir matavacham and mataharin shaloi nechshdu al kismehen. Almost ever Rameir kusim geri emesein. We see clearly that kusim are geri emes because Rameir connects kusim together with Yisrael. It says mibein Yisrael mibein kusim Rameir matama. So how could he say a chiluk when it comes to a kusi? We see that they're the same. Amravo, as we said before, kanasu shekanas Rameir b'mamayim. Actually, we find that Rameir kanas their money shul yitamu bahem. so that we should not become tamei with them. Fine. So let's finish this up. So he asked a question. So this is the third parak in Ksubas, that when do we find that a girl who's between 12 and 12 and a half, that there's a din knas? So over there it says habal mamzeres v'alasino v'alakusis. It says the word kusis. If in fact we're going to kanas kusim's money, let the Jewish man be potter from paying the kusi and show there's a difference between the kusi and the Bas Yisrael. So Rabbi Kedei, as we continue to Lamed Testament Aleph, we don't want the person who did the sin to reward, because if we would say, you know what, kusim, there's no din kanas, so the chayte, the person who took her, is going to end up benefiting by not having this punishment, and therefore we punish, even though technically we would maybe make a distinction. So v'nisvi l'aniyim. So why don't we kanas, but maybe we should just give it to the poor? So because his money which has no claimant, says Rashi. Who's going to come and collect this money for these poor people? If a poor person comes, say, I'll give it to a different poor person. I'll give it to another poor person. And you can just keep pushing off every poor person. So if we're going to say that, you should just give it to a poor person, then it's just not going to work. Question 13. Well, obviously we're going to stop there. Madua konsul esakusim b'mamoinam. So it's a kanashal yitami yisrael b'maniseihem. We don't want Yidden to become tamei and to be with their daughters. Madua konsum gav gam b'kanas da'oinus. So why do we not kanas them by oinus? So it says oinus l'konsu kanashal yehei chaytin iskar. So we don't kanas them when it comes to this, because we don't want b'chayt nisker, so therefore we're gonna not make a distinction. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna stop. Let's see if there's another question here. Okay, nothing on TA, TB. Oh, unbelievable. Ra v'yater goyim ara mehem gimel hapirushim de Gemara. So this is exactly the same thing we had before. Lamed Chesed Aleph, TB 27. Just let's see what I wrote. Heim lo oisim es mitzvahs b'shvil zeh kanasas memoinim gol oisim ben ho'amim v'gam choshmin es mitzvahs shehem oisim kamo shehem ein mitzvah v'yoyse oz lo v'kablim kol kach sachar. Ad kan.